So we were texting actually in like our family group chat, which is like me, my sister, and my mom. It's kind of like the family squad. And my mom just kind of like dropped it, and I remember just kind of staring at my screen and seeing, oh, and she said it so casually, like it was something I think my sister already knew, but I hadn't known that she was working, and she said something just along the lines of, oh, well, I have a ship tonight at Carson's, and I was just very confused, and I just kind of stared at my phone for a second thinking, like my mom that went back to law school at 40 something, that raised 2 kids on her own, that fought for every single thing that she's had, has had to pick up extra shifts at Carson's because, because I don't even know. And I just remember staring at my phone for so long and just being like, no way, this is real. And I remember texting my sister separately and saying, like, is this real? Like, when did mom have to, when did things get so bad that she had to start picking up extra shifts? And my sister said, I think, around the time that you left for school. I just kind of put the phone down and I was thinking, what the hell am I doing here? That my mom is out there running around picking up extra jobs. What am I doing here that's so important that I almost felt like I should just go back home and help her. She deserves so much more than just helping out rude people in my neighborhood pick out clothes. I felt like she deserved so much more than that. And in that moment, I just lost it. And in that moment of kind of uncontrollable tears or whatever, I just felt so determined that whatever it is I end up doing with my life, I have to give back to her. One of the biggest dreams I have is to be able to put her on vacation and buy her a huge house and all the things in life that she deserves. It made me feel selfish, like I didn't deserve to be here. I was talking to my grandma on the phone, and before she hung up, she just kept telling me, Cameron, do what you love and the money will come. Personally, I really want to try to make a career writing and creating things, and I really want to be able to make that my future, and I believe that I can, but at the same time I can't. There's this gnawing in the back of my head that there is the fact that if I pursue something a bit more stable, or if I did end up going to medical school or to law school or something like that, I would be able to help support her more and be able to get money faster, to really help out my family. I don't know how to tell my mom, like, yeah, I want to be an English major and I want to write for the rest of my life, because I know that me majoring in English versus me going off to medical school could be the difference of my mom having to work 3 more shifts for the next 20 years. Those are things that always weigh on my mind when I think about what I want to do and how I want to create my life. There are people out there that deserve so much but are just not there yet, and I don't know. I feel like I just hope that one day my mom is able to get everything she wants, and I know that that's part of my job too as her son.
One of the strongest emotions I've ever felt was probably the moment I gave my mom back the keys to our house. For as long as I can remember, it's been Elsa and Layla taking on the world together. I've lived in the same house for the past 17 years with just my mom, and when I moved out for college was the day we moved out for good. My mom is making that big leap in her life and moving across the country to Boston, so I'm saying goodbye to Seattle when I moved here. And the idea of no longer living with my mom just broke my heart. When I handed my mom the keys, she was in the middle of watching Jeopardy. We watch Jeopardy together as often as we can. It was just one of the few things that we did that we still both really enjoyed. She was sitting on our little blue couch in the little TV room, and I walked in thinking it was going to be totally casual, I just don't need these anymore, and I thought it'd be better than just possibly losing them in college. And she I held out my hand and she put out hers, and I don't know what she was expecting me to put in them, but definitely wasn't my keys, and we both just looked at each other and started crying. We just sat on the couch together and we said goodbye to each other again, and to the house, and to 17 years of just being together. Looking back at saying goodbye with my keys, it doesn't make me really sad, but the idea of not really having a home to go back to during breaks is what really hurts. I don't know if I even have a room anymore. Just having my own bedroom just meant so much to me, and it was really my happy space. And I'm so happy for my mom to be moving because she's never really had a time to live just for herself. She's almost always been a mom, and I just could not be more excited for her, but not having a home is just like this totally intangible thing right now, and giving away those keys was just like the first step of accepting it.
So growing up, my family was very emotionally distant and detached. My dad loves his work, loves research, but it was especially hard for him to communicate his love for my brother and me. I think that's partly because his own mom died when he was in high school, so it was hard for him to like feel confident, trusting, and loving something, just in case he ended up losing it again. So all of high school, the most emotion he ever showed was pride. He'd say like, "Oh, great job on that essay. So proud of you. Getting into that school, getting a good grade. You worked really hard on this. I respect that." But the day he dropped me off at Stanford, he gave me a poem that he reads every morning. And as we were separating, for him to go home, for me to go to dinner with people from my hall, I saw that he started crying. And that was the first time I'd really seen him cry like that. And he gave me the poem, which is about love. And I started crying too, because I knew that he did love me, and I was just so like overwhelmed by love and happiness in that moment. I think that's the most emotional moment in my life. Like I knew that it was there throughout high school and throughout my childhood, but now I know that it's here.